Hi guys, this is Colleen from Quilting with the Sisterlies and Stitching with the Sisterlies, and I'm here to bring you Quilt Tube number 9. I think it's number 9. Cheryl's at home nursing herself through vertigo. So apparently we both are afflicted with vertigo. Um, we must have been dropped on our heads. I don't know. Anyway, I thought I would bring you my smaller projects that I've completed over the years, at least some of them that I found. And let's do it. The first thing I'm going to show you, because I forgot the name of the designer, and I even DM'd Anna of Quilt Roadies to see if she remembered. And as I was telling her, I was thinking, well, I remember I got this at Pioneer Quilts, and I know the designer is really pretty. Who is it? And then I looked in the shop part of Pioneer Quilts, and I found what the pattern was and who designed it. This is called, it's a wool applique, and it's called Let Your Heart Sing through the night. And the designer is Bonnie Sullivan. And so I made this little bird into a heart pillow. And then I used flannel, and then on the back, I just put a little heart on it. I stuffed it and put a little heart there. So if I can hold it straight, that's my little bird. And it sits in a chair by my sewing machine in the front room. My sewing machine's not in the front room, but this is where this sits, in a chair. I have an open floor plan, which is terrible when you have vertigo because you don't have a wall to bounce off of. So I was thinking of getting a walker even, just because I don't want to fall. It's not life-threatening, but it is really debilitating. And if it's severe, you can't walk. You can't walk. Okay. And so this is upside down, which this is a English paper piecing project using Tula Pink's Elizabeth fabric line. And I just, paper pieced, English paper pieced a bunch of shapes and turned it into this pillow. And then I cross hatched it for the quilting, and I just used some batik to make the pillow. Yeah, and I just used the pocket method. So there she is. And I have about 5 or 6 of these blocks left. I don't know if I'm going to make more pillows or wall hangings or table toppings, or give them away and let you guys decide what I should do with them, what you want to do with them, or what you would like me to make with them, something along those lines. The next is it's a small quilt. I use this on my table by my bed, which would be called a bedside table. And it's called Scarlet Stars, and it's designed by Kim Deal. And so here's the pattern. And here she is. Whoop, they're straight. And then the back is just, and I also just cross-hatched this on my sewing machine. And so there you are. Okay. Next, I did a quilt along with Fat Quarter Shop. And I think this is a Lori Holt Bee in My Bonnet design. And this is called, I better stand up for this one because this is so, let me stand up. Let's hope I don't have vertigo. This is so happy. And it was I used scraps of Lori Holt fabric. I used rickrack on the binding, and I cross-hatched this too. And then there's the backing. And I use this as a table runner in my quilt studio. Then another one, another one. Okay, I'm taking that off of another creator by saying that for a whole different reason why she says and another one. I think hers is for lies. But this isn't a lie. Lincoln, I have a dog named Lincoln, and I decided to make him a dog blanket. And I made this blanket, and he wanted nothing to do with this blanket. Whenever I quilt something, he wants to lay all over it. Not this. In fact, he would paw it out of his bed and then walk around his bed and settle. Now he loves it, so it's kind of it's kind of linkened up. But here is his little blanket. Hopefully you can see it. I made Kimberly Jolly one of her piggy. He's not a pig, that's his name. And I used Cuddle for the back of the quilt and a little hearts I quilted in it. And there goes one of that's his nose. Anyway, Lincoln loves this now. So there's his little blanket. All right. Now we have a wall quilt. This is Twin Lambs, and it is by, who's it by? Rachel T. Pellman, Rachel's of Greenfield. And so there's the two little lambs, the twin lambs, and the mummy. And this one I have hanging in the hallway. And I cross-hatched quilted this as well after I appliqued it on. And there's the back. There's the mommy's eyes somewhere right there. And then I just hand bound it. But I like this. Next is another wool applique piece. Let me scoot up. This is, what is it? By Jerome Thomas Designs Wool Applique Patterns. It's called the Primitive Wall Pocket Seasonal Ornament Series, and it's called Let There Be Peace. And I haven't quite figured out, but I'm gonna, well, I have a string hanging. I'm hoping Teresa de Kogut will design an applique piece, applique figure of Lincoln, the man, so that I can, so she can inspire me to build a quilt or design a quilt with Lincoln. Anyway, so here is Let There Be Peace. And I just appliqued that. And this sits on a chair by my sewing machine until I get inspired to go further with it. I want it to be an Abraham Lincoln quilt. How novel, right? The next is it's another wool applique. It is by the Whole Country Caboodle. I love their little doggies. And this is pre-dude. And it's the Doodle Dog. Actually, it's, you guessed it, Lincoln. It's Lincoln. Here he is. I put him on a pillow. So there's Lincoln Dog. And he sits on a shelf in the hallway, a quilt shelf. It's a quilt hanger, and it has a shelf on the top. And then I just did a pocket finish and stuffed a pillow in. And so there's Lincoln. The next is another Lincoln. This is also by Monty Sullivan of All Through the Night, and it's called You Lucky Dog. And I think it's supposed to be like a table runner. But I needed something to match his red pillow up there on the shelf. And so I made it into a pillow. And there's Lincoln, and he's running to get the bird who has his bone. He probably wouldn't care about the bone if it was a rabbit. If the bird was carrying a rabbit, he would go after that. And this sits up there. And I just did stuffed it all and sewed on a piece of fabric. Whoops, Lincoln's upside down. Okay. And then the last project, I think the last project I have to show you, this is way faster than my quilt parade, huh? This is designed by Sandy Wachel or Wachel. It's W-A-C-H-L. It finishes at 20 by 24, and it's just a table topper, and it's called Let Freedom Ring. And I think my friend Caroline Barbie sent this to me, Yoshida. It's McCall. It's from the McCall's Quilting in 2002, and it's called the Red, White, and Blue. And then it's got quilts on this side, and then when you turn it over, it has Civil War samplers. So, you know, I like this. And so this is my finish, and this sits on a table in my front. And I might be repeating myself, but I have a open, whoops, this way. I just appliqued the pieces on. I'm holding this not right. I'm kind of proud of this one. Not sure why, but I want him to be in here right. I'm not going to get him right. Get over myself. And then I just put another piece of wool felt on the back and did the applique stitch all the way around. And this sits on the lamp table in the front room. Did I already say this? I live in a open house plan, so there's no walls to bang off of when you have vertigo. So you know what can happen. If you have vertigo, you probably should get a walker. That's what my son said. Mom, you should get a walker. You're probably going to have these more. Anyway, so that is all of my projects. I think I recorded this twice because the first time I forgot to hit record. And let's do a giveaway for you guys having to sit through all of this. How about a $35 gift certificate to the Fat Quarter Shop? And let's see, what can the keyword be? It's a man, it's a dog, it's Lincoln. So the keyword is Lincoln, and I will let you guys go so you can get back to your day. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Bye.